Letters to the Stranger on the Train. I never believed in fleeting connections. I always thought that the people who mattered would stay. They would call, they would show up, they would remain. But sometimes, it's the ones who never stay that leave behind the most permanent marks. This is a letter to someone I never got to thank, a stranger on a train, a stranger who changed everything. I was headed from Chicago to Seattle. 3 days of endless tracks, uncomfortable sleep, and a head full of noise. I was running from a job I hated, from a relationship that had just shattered, and most of all, from myself. That seat by the window, it was supposed to be my escape, my cocoon. And then you walked in. You were older than me, maybe mid-50s, with tired eyes but a kind smile. You asked if the seat next to me was taken, and I nodded no. You settled in with a sigh, like the weight of your life had also finally found a place to sit. We didn't speak for the first 2 hours, but I remember your notebook. You kept writing, line after line. Curious, I asked, "What are you writing?" You looked at me, smiled, and said, "Letters, to people I'll never send them to." I asked, "Why?" You said, "Because some goodbyes are too late, and some thank yous are never heard." That night, you offered me a sandwich you brought from home. I hadn't eaten all day. You didn't ask questions, didn't dig. You just sat there, sharing space, like it was the most natural thing in the world. At 2 a.m., under the dim orange glow of the train lights, I finally broke. "I think I messed everything up," I whispered. You didn't flinch. You just looked at me and said, gently, "Tell me." I told you everything. About the promotion I didn't take because I was scared of failing, about the girl I pushed away because I thought I didn't deserve her love, about the father I hadn't spoken to in years because I thought silence would hurt him the way his absence hurt me. You listened, quietly, no judgment, no pity, just presence. Then you told me something I will never forget. "You know, son, life doesn't care how broken you are, it keeps moving. But healing, that's a choice. You either drag your wounds like chains or learn to wear them like armor." You told me stories of your life. A wife you loved but lost to cancer, a son who stopped talking to you after you missed too many birthdays. You said, "People think regret is about the things we did wrong, but it's mostly about the things we didn't do at all." I asked, "So why write letters?" And you
said, "Because words are the only time machines we have. You can't go back, but you can leave behind something, just in case someone ever looks." We were almost at the end of the journey. You handed me an envelope. "Don't open this until you get home," you said. I asked for your name. You said, "It's not important. Just write your letters someday too." And then, just like that, you were gone. No phone number. No email. No social media handle. Just a seat that suddenly felt too empty. And a heart that strangely felt lighter. It was a letter to the man who thinks he's broken. If you're reading this, it means you made it home. That's already something. I don't know what your story holds next, but I do know this: your pain is real, but so is your power. Say what you need to say. Forgive who you need to forgive. Most of all, forgive yourself. Life's not waiting for you to be ready. It just wants you to show up, and if you ever feel like you're falling again, just remember this seat on the train, and 2 strangers who weren't strangers for a while. I cried. Not because I was sad, but because someone saw me, without ever needing anything in return. 1 year later, I took the same train, this time with a notebook. I don't know where you are now. Maybe you were just a ghost in human form. Maybe you were the universe giving me a second chance, but I kept your promise. I wrote letters. Dozens of them. To my father, I finally called him. To the girl, I told her I was sorry. To the scared version of me, I told him he was enough. And now, I write to you, to the stranger on the train, thank you for your silence, your stories, and your sandwich. Thank you for reminding me that sometimes healing doesn't come from people we've known forever. Sometimes, it arrives from a kind face, a long ride, and a letter handed at the right time. We may never meet again, but your words are alive in me. And now, maybe, they're alive in someone else too. Sometimes, the most unforgettable people are the ones we never expected. So if you ever meet a stranger who feels familiar, say something. Listen. Share. They might just be the one who changes everything. We all have a story. Sometimes, all it takes is someone who's willing to listen. If this story moved you, please consider subscribing to Still Human, where we remind the world, one story at a time, that feeling is not a weakness. It's what makes us human.